Alright guys, let's talk about the Lean Startup by Eric Ries. First of all, I want to establish that when you are making a product for a market, don't wait for the perfect product. Create an MVP, which stands for Minimal Viable Product. Create a product that does not have all this fancy gadgets and features and stuff on it. Give the basics to something called early adopters. They are people that try your product, usually for a price, and they give you feedback on it. This tells you if people will actually even use the product before you put it in the market. This is the equivalent of putting 10,000 hours into a skill such as basket weaving. There's not very many people that are hiring professional basket makers. Now there may be, but this is an analogy. Some companies spend a whole year building a product that customers don't even want. Most of the features they add in that take months of planning and coding, they don't even want. This is putting the 80-20 principle to effect. When you create a product, only try to put in the 20% of features that 80% of the customers will use. Remember, you're just going for the bare minimum. Too many people assume that something is what the market wants. They might assume that a new phone needs a fingerprint reader, but that doesn't mean that the market actually wants it. Eric came up with something called the feedback loop, the build, measure, learn feedback loop. And this is that you build something really cheap and really fast, and then you put it in the market. You give it to a select few number of people and you try to measure their feedback. What did they like about it? What did they not like about it? And then you learn, what can you change on your product to make it better? And then you go through this cycle over and over and over again, as many iterations as it takes, so you come up with the best product. You try to make the cheapest and fastest way to test it. Eric says that those startups that can get through this cycle, this feedback loop, the quickest, are the ones that win, especially if they can beat their competition at learning what the market wants. And when you're picking metrics to measure, make sure that they're not biased. I try to measure my metrics by the number of likes and the amount of subscribers that I have, not by the comments or the views. Since people can leave negative comments, it's better to differentiate between likes and dislikes than just comments alone. And people can also click on my video and leave 10 seconds after. Viewer retention is also up there. Eric also says that after you've been through this cycle a couple times, you need to either pivot or persevere if stuff isn't changing. If your MVP is working great, good, continue persevering. However, if it's not, pivot. You can either change the product, features of the product, or you can change the market, the audience that you are selling to. Maybe instead of selling to a 40-year-old soccer mom, you can sell to a 16-year-old cheerleader. And on point with persevering, go take a look at my first 7 videos of the 7 habits of highly effective people. They were really cheap to make, they were pretty low quality, and the audio wasn't the best. However, I put it out there, and I realized that people were looking for this. There was a market for it. I made these videos to practice my animating skills. Instead of practicing my animating skills and then putting out videos, I put out videos right away so I knew if there was an audience or not. And according to the 600 subscribers I now have, there is. So I will continue putting out videos and adding value to people's lives. That's it for this book review. If you want more book reviews on entrepreneurial and startup books, click the like button. If you have a suggestion for a book that you would like me to do, leave a comment below, and if I end up doing that book, I will ship it to your house for free. Also, check out my new social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you really enjoyed this video, check out how to make your startup viral by watching my Growth Hacker marketing video. There's tons of information in there. Subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.